The truth is there isn't a common thread. My career has been completely unplanned. I've gone into certain situations because I thought that I could do well at them, or because somebody offered me an opportunity and I thought I can't not take the opportunity. So I think that the only common thread is my eagerness to do well, my eagerness to succeed, but actually in terms of planning my career, there's been no plan. Every single challenge, every single company I've been into, whether it's my own company or one that I've actually been sort of parachuted into, has created a different opportunity and a different problem. So from my point of view, I haven't gone in with any kind of prescription where this is what I'm going to do on day one and this is what's going to happen in day, whatever it is, 1,000. I think it's a matter of just testing the situation, working my way around, seeing what works and what doesn't work, trying not to make too many mistakes along the way. And as things actually progress, so you kind of get a good idea of where it's going, what you can achieve, what the pitfalls are, and when to exit. In a normal company, everything you do, whether it's a matter of promoting people, demoting them, whatever it is you want to do, you can do it without being under the glare of the newspapers, TV cameras, publicity. So it came as a bit of a shock to me when I was chief executive of Tottenham Hotspur to find that anything I did and everything I said got reported or misreported in the newspapers. And there are countless situations where I asked a daft question, but it was out of innocence because I'm not a football man, and the next day I'd see it in the newspaper. So it's completely different to running a normal company where you can do things. In football, it's very different. Also, football is very rigid. You've got very rigid rules and way to do things, and you've got the FA, you've got the Premier League, you've got FIFA, and all those kind of things impact on your ability to sometimes do what you want to do. Notwithstanding the fact that you've got 36,000, 38,000 people at a game, all who know better than you, and many of them do, and you've got millions of people who watch TV and all think they've got an ownership of that particular club. Whereas if you've got a business, basically you've got the shareholders, those are the ones you've got to worry about, you've got some creditors, you've got the banks, and everything else is within your remit. In terms of the oil services company I was involved in, that was a global company, and so it was a matter of dealing with a whole host of different people in different countries who had different opinions on how the business should be run. But what I found particularly intriguing and irritating were the Texans, because these are guys who've got Stetsons, guns, cowboy boots, all the things that you think, surely that's only Dallas. But actually they're living that dream. And they all talk big, but when it actually comes to doing something, their word is not their bond. So whereas I'm used to, certainly in the UK, when you speak to somebody and you do make an arrangement, you agree to something, they tend to stick to it. I found that with these guys in the southern states, they talk a lot, talk very big, they're all showing off to each other, but when it comes to performance, they're a bit short on performance. I love rescues. I love going into companies when either other people have failed or where I think that I can perhaps create something. So I go into opportunities that I see that people are walking away from, and typically when I arrive the best people leave or the directors leave, and so I very often have to find a way of managing the company, promoting people who perhaps haven't been the top senior managers, but finding kind of real nuggets of gold, people who want to work for the company, who want to work with the company, who have got good ideas. So I found that everybody walks away, but I've always been able to find people who have remained in the company, have wanted to work with me to make it successful, and together we've made it successful. The thing about turnarounds in any kind of business is that you've always got problems. There's not a day that passes. I'm with Lord Sugar, we had a problem last week. It's typical. Every board meeting that we have, there's an opportunity to either go one way, seize a particular opportunity, or step back and try a different alternative. So I think that for me, that's the great thing about business, is that it's not smooth sailing. There are full of problems, and I like problem solving. So I think for me, in every single situation I've been into, I just try and find a solution and a way to get through. And you can't not make mistakes. And in a way, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes. I had a situation with the oil services company, for example, where we had, when I arrived, we had 17 vessels in the dock. And when I got to Aberdeen, I looked around and I said, oh, it's great having all those vessels there. And the guy, the financial director, said, are you mad? They've got to be working, all those vessels. The mere fact they're in the dock means they're not working, they're not earning any money. Well, immediately I realised they were on charter. They were costing us £10,000 a day to be lying idle, each of them. And so there's a matter of going back to the charterer, trying to get them back, trying to do some kind of deal. Unfortunately, what happened was that within a few months, the climate changed, those boats were all working, they were costing us £10,000 a day, but we were earning £15,000 a day out of them. So sometimes it's just a matter of waiting for the time, for the cycle to turn, and then you can get the benefit. And sometimes you've got to be quite inventive about how you're going to manage the business in waiting or hoping for that cycle to come round. My biggest success has got to be my family. So I know that's not the right answer, that's not what you're looking for, but that's the whole key to everything. You've got to be happy in life, so I'm very fortunate to have a fantastic wife, wonderful children, grandchildren, and we all live peacefully and happily together. And so that's my biggest success, which I attribute to my wife, to be honest with you, because she's the one who's kept things together whilst I've been off, running businesses and doing what I want to do. So I think that in a way, that's my biggest success. My biggest failure, I suppose, is just the corollary of that, which is not being with my children enough, not being on the touchline when they played football as much as I would have liked to, and perhaps missing out on some of those good years. But as far as business goes, I've had nothing but success, and that sounds silly, but somebody else might have done it much better than me. But everything I've done it to the best of my ability. I've tried my hardest. I've tried to do everything I possibly could to make the business successful, to make it successful for the employees when I walk away. And so, from my point of view, my success is every time I've gone into a business and done well, that's been my success. I've done things wrong. I've done stupid things in business, but I think you can't help. You just got to learn from your mistakes and try not to make the same mistake again. Any student has got a wonderful opportunity of having 3 years or more of maturing, of trying to understand a bit about the world, about what they want to do in life. And so I think it's critically important, whether you're a good student or not such a good student, to try and use these 3 years in the best way possible. Try and extract as much as you can. You will develop, you will mature, and at the end of that time, hopefully, you'll have enough about you to be able to get a job that you again like or want to make a career of. And I think that's very, very important. Similarly, if you decide you don't want to go into business but you want to start out on your own, it's very important that from an early-ish sort of stage that you create an idea, try and think of a business, try and put it into a plan, try and get it verified by other people so that when you actually graduate, you're kind of ready to go.